Hello and welcome back to the U Up podcast. I'm Jordana Abraham.
And I am Jared Freed. It is so good to be back here with you, Jordana. How are you? What's going on? How you feeling? What's the haps?
I'm okay. I'm feeling good about the weather.
It's beautiful out. I walked here. I'm a sweaty mess. This is going to be, when we do, to let people behind the curtains, we're taping a second day in a row. So
yes, we're getting ahead quite a bit.
Because I'm going to Europe. You're going away as well. You're going to Mexico.
I'm going to Cabo, and then we have our Chicago show on May 18th.
Jesse Metcalf's favorite first date spot, Cabo.
Yes, hopefully maybe I'll see him there on a date.
Right, you might see him.
Maybe I can fly back private.
Then you'll hitch a ride, right, so to speak.
Bye, Mike. I'll see you in Chicago.
So Chicago, if you're listening, we're doing shows in Chicago. We're doing the U Up Live. Come. Get the group chat. I think they're already selling. It might be sold out by now. So if you're listening, you might be shit out of luck. So go get the tickies now, because if they're still there, we want you at the show. It's going to be a blast. I'm a sweaty mess. We taped this the second day. I drank last night. I had this freak out on the way here. I was, when you're just talking to yourself as you're walking, and I'm like, and again, if you're listening and you don't like Jared ranting about dating, I know you're out there. I've read the comments. I'm gonna rant.
When do you read the comments?
Every now and again, someone I read on the YouTube.
You're in the mood to self-flagellate
a little bit. Okay. I mean, I read someone wrote Jared needs a break from dating. Yeah, I think I do. I don't know.
Hot take.
Yeah, got me.
We talk about that every week. Are you listening?
Right. Yeah. So I'm on last night. I'm sitting, and I'm very specific with how I drink. I like a lot of ice. This is the thing I was thinking. This is exactly on the topic of what I was thinking. I'm never gonna change. I am who I is. And I'm thinking in form of dating. I'm just like, why don't I just be weirdo single guy forever? I'll just exchange a woman to hug and tickle my head every few months. I'll text you for a breakup text every few months.
Okay.
And this will be my life. Why not? I don't, and I'm like, my phone's pretty good. I can hang with my phone. I don't need to deal with and then you're like, am I gonna be weirdo alone?
Is that what you want?
I don't know. I actually was like, maybe that's what I want.
Maybe it is what you want.
I used to have an uncle growing up who was my dad's friend, who we called Uncle.
Right.
And he was that guy. And I don't know if I covet his life, but I'm like, I don't know. I was drinking vodka on the rocks.
Leonardo DiCaprio seems pretty happy.
Leo D. I mean, he gets shit, and I'm like, I don't understand why he gets shit. I don't think of him as I
understand why he gets shit.
I guess this is the female side of it, right? I don't think of him as a good hang.
Okay.
I would think I wouldn't want to hang with a guy who doesn't want to be challenged intellectually by his partner.
Right. I feel like it, to me, it represents, and again, maybe unfairly, he's a great actor, so maybe this is totally unfair assessment of someone who's sort of just obsessed with the superficial.
Right. And that is downing whoever he's with. We're assuming that and I even just said it.
Just because they all happen to be 23-year-old models, that they're not very smart.
Harvard educated. Sure. Right. We are assuming and again, I guess we're assuming 23-year-old is a lot like how we were at 23. When I think of I
mean, they are on, it's not like they're 23. He's going to the opera with that. They are on yachts just drinking.
Right.
So it's
not a bad life.
Not a bad life, but also doesn't be oh, well, he's with the intellectual models.
Right. Again,
they're going to a signing.
Right. You can be an intellectual model.
Of course.
But we're assuming that he's with someone that he doesn't have to spar with intellectually. I guess that's the assumption.
Yeah, and also I guess there's the sense there's a hint of, and again, maybe perhaps unfairly, of objectification. Just the idea that once someone turns a certain age that they're broken up with, and who knows, maybe they're breaking up with him. Probably not.
Well, his PR agent gave a great explanation. Of course, he has a female PR agent who when it comes from a woman, it sounds better. But she was like, these people, she said at a certain age, certain women want certain things, and Leo doesn't want those things.
Right. That's that old, what's that movie line? He gets older, the women stay the same age.
Right. And that's kind of what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't have to, you get to be you for 3 months, and then they go, all right, let's start meshing these two people together. And then it's like, what are you doing out? Well, I'm having a vodka on the rocks on a Tuesday. and then I'm eating 5 slices of pizza. Like I had 5 slices of pizza last night.
I mean, honestly, that's not that much.
I need you in my life.
I've eaten 4 slices. Mike and I have split a pie.
Right. Okay.
And I'm, a woman, presumably
Right.
smaller than you. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess like I need and I was thinking about just this. This is crazy. We're having this conversation.
Every piece of pizza, additional piece, you feel guiltier. I know the exact feeling. It's like 2 and I'm okay, and I should be okay. But why can't I leave it there?
Right. I could have had the 3. 3. I actually said 3 to myself. I was like, I could, and I got back in line, and I had to do the thing of like, is anyone seeing me get back in line? Like the Homer Simpson, like Abe Simpson.
You're
putting
like
his hat and circling in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I'm literally going, I don't want to have to date someone where I'm like, they go 5 slices. Part of a relationship is someone looking you in the eye and going, what the fuck are you doing? Get it together.
So you don't want to get it together.
I don't know. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I have the ability. Am I? And because then I was with someone the other day. They're 30. And I'm like, you got to see these apartments that are near my apartment. They're like huge brownstone, gorgeous apartments. They're like, I would love to have one of those one day. I'm like, one day, this is it. I'm done. This is
not with me.
Not with me. I'm done. I am in the dream. Like I don't know if there's, I don't know. I sound like I've lost aspiration. I'm aspirational, but I'm also moving towards realistic of like, you're fucking 38, dude. You're not going to lose the 20 pounds. You're not going to not eat 5 slices. Could I meld with someone? And I think this has got to be relatable to someone listening where they're like, I'm this.
I think it's like, here's the thing. I think if you want it bad enough, anything can happen. You can make it happen. The question is, which is the fair question to ask yourself, do I really want it? Could I have a great life without it? Is this something that I actually want? Do I want to be in a relationship? Do I want... Maybe you don't. Maybe you think, again, like we talk about societal pressures. We mostly talk about them in terms of women.
Right.
But that doesn't mean they don't exist for men. And I think there is this narrative of like, settle down, get married, have kids, move to the suburbs, whatever it is, like, or don't. I don't think that's like not there for men, and that just because society tells you that's what you're supposed to do. I think if someone looks in the mirror and is like, I actually don't think that would make me that happy. I'm not like most people.
Right.
Maybe even most people don't actually think that they're just going along with whatever they're told.
I guess you're bringing up a great point because it does feel like that next step, whatever that is such a grand change from what I'm doing right now.
Right.
That I'm like, I can't even imagine it.
Well, you're like, if I really want, I can imagine, I don't want to put words in your mouth. In your head, there's got to be something that's saying, if I really wanted it, wouldn't I be trying to get closer to it? Wouldn't I be like not trying to book as many shows? Wouldn't I travel less so I could be here and, base? Wouldn't I want to really feel like I had a huge desire to go on a 5th date? Like, I think if none of those things are things that are calling you, like maybe you don't actually want it at this point. And again, I think there's another thing that's like, just because you don't want it right now doesn't mean you won't want it in the future. You have to, this decision has to be forever.
Yeah, no, those are all right things to say to me. Like, you're right.
I mean, look at George Clooney. We talk about Leonardo DiCaprio. George Clooney.
Right. Well, and then now he's with woman, and now he gets referred to as so-and-so's husband.
Amal Clooney, yeah.
Gotcha, men. Like, I always roll my eyes.
No, but I think about his, when you see his life, and you're like, that seems like a great,
Will he have kids?
Story. He has twins, yeah.
They have twins?
They have twins, yeah.
But he's Clooney. He's a billionaire. Like that. I think money plays into this as well. Like
you're
think
not. You're not poor.
I'm not. Listen, I'm okay. I'm not crying poor. I'm just saying, like, I don't think I got to start a beverage company. I got to get involved. Faux pas. Like Clooney's got Casamigos.
But I don't think that has anything. Does that really have anything to do with his wife and kids? He's married to an international rights lawyer. It's not
Right.
like he's like married to a young model like
No,
Leonardo DiCaprio.
I think he's fine on his own.
Yeah.
I don't think he's like, oh, I got to live a new lifestyle with this
No,
international
but I'm saying
lawyer.
like I don't think that fact like if he had less money, he could still have had the same life.
He's not with her with less money.
Oh, you're saying he couldn't get her?
Right. I don't think so. I don't think if he's not successful in what he does, in my opinion.
Maybe not. I mean, success is a huge spectrum. It's like the
Sure.
George Clooney, like actor, investor, or whatever. But like, let's say he was just a lawyer. Let's say he was an international rights lawyer too.
Fair.
Would she be like?
Yeah, no, but I would say
right.
he's successful at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like and then I'm like, we were talking about Ozempic.
Yes. to bring it back to dating, we were talking about Ozempic. And that was a good conversation. We were saying,
right.
Or I was saying, I'm not sure what the allowed opinion is on Ozempic and I don't care that much. I'd like to preface this by saying I don't care that much at all, like in any direction about Ozempic. Like if I see someone and they've lost a lot of weight, I'm like, interesting. I don't care if they did it with Ozempic. I don't care if they didn't. I'm maybe not in the demographic of people who are like fired up about this.
As someone who is sensitive about their body and talks about food and weight all the time, on stage, off stage. If you've listened to Diet Starts Tomorrow, I've been on that show, over 20 times at this point. I'm in this game. If you talk about your weight in any way, we are the most sensitive people on earth.
So you're tuned into the Ozempic conversation.
I'm totally tuned in, and I understand that anyone who's tuned into Ozempic or wants to take it or has thought about taking it is a sensitive person.
Right.
So we're dealing with a group that is tough to commentate on because we, sensitive to our body people, we have the best hearing.
Well, here's the thing. I can see why it would annoy someone who struggles with their body image, because you'd be like, if you're not taking it for whatever reason, whether you think it's like morally wrong or you can't afford it, apparently it's very expensive, or you don't want to give yourself a shot, or you're afraid of the side effects. And then you see other people who have lost a lot of weight. And I have to say, everyone who I've seen who's on it universally kind of looks awesome.
Phil Mickelson, I don't want to make accusations, but it seems as though he's on something. Whatever he's doing, he was at the Masters last week, looked unbelievable.
Yeah, you see all these people and it's like they're probably on it. They look great. And I can see why, if you're like, this is my lifelong struggle, but there's something about it that feels wrong to me, to see everyone else on it supposedly thriving feels like, well, fuck you. That's not fair.
Right. Or thriving in the way I want to thrive.
Thriving in that way.
Well, yeah.
Feeling themselves.
You were so right about like, what is the opinion you're allowed to have? Because you hear from people going, like, I don't know if diabetes people are going without because rich people who want to lose weight are going with. We don't know. I don't know. If
that's the case, obviously that's an issue. Right.
Right.
I don't know I don't know anything really about that.
And then I said to you, sometimes when rich people get their hands on a trend, it makes more for everybody. So
like the gluten-free people.
Exactly. Gluten-free, people fake gluten-free. Now there's a whole aisle of gluten-free items. People with real gluten intolerance will go, I don't care. There's more stuff for me.
Totally. Lactose intolerance. How much dairy-free shit is there all over?
Right. Because some fucking woman in yoga pants claims it has to be dairy-free.
Right.
So it all, it's like,
now it's an industry.
Now it's an industry. So I was saying, like if I was today to go on Ozempic, and then like a month from now, I'm like walking around, abs, crush, just I'm taking pictures from every angle.
Yeah.
Red flag deal breaker. You find out on the date. I'm on it.
I'm like, good for you. Like,
are you worried that if I go off it, I gain the weight back? What level of, because that's what they say is you go out and listen, if it was a fix for me to get ready for a movie, I would be like, okay, Here's
the thing though, to me, like everyone's going to get old. I assume anyone I see right now is going to look worse than they do now in 10 years.
Fair.
Which I would say,
unless you're
true.
Pedro Pascal. That guy.
Unless you're a man.
Right.
In which or any woman I see now is going to look worse in 10 years. Myself included.
I didn't say that.
Myself included, right?
No, I know so, everyone. Everyone's going to be 10 years older than they are.
Yeah, everyone's going to be 10 years older. Everyone's
you're Paul
eventually,
Rudd.
right.
Yeah.
Unless you stay the same age and you're Paul Rudd.
Matthew McConaughey. George Clooney.
J-Lo. That's it.
J-Lo.
That's it. That's the whole list. Unless you're a celebrity.
Right. Rich celebrity, yeah.
Or very rich or both.
Rich is the best way to, keep your age. That's proven.
That's like, I mean, am I going to be, is someone I'm with going to lose their hair? Is it going to be as thick as it was when I met them? Is it going to be, I don't know. I'm kind of like, if I'm and I think for women, maybe it's different because I'm like, if I'm attracted to you now, it matters. And then I like become into your personality. I don't think women are as physically focused where if a man lets himself slip a little bit, I don't think it's going to be as big of an issue. Whereas maybe, I don't know, you tell me if we went on a date, I tell you I'm on Ozempic. I used to look totally different. What do you think? Are you worried about me looking different or growing off of it or you getting something different?
I don't think I am. That makes me sound like a better person than I am. But I think if you connect, you connect. And but also I'm like, how much weight are people losing? I thought it was like a 10-pound thing. If it's a 10, you go, I don't think you turn into like a different human.
I don't know. Everyone in the pictures, looks like.
Do we have some before and after?
Just looks like a leaner, version of themselves, but they also just in the pictures that maybe it's like, again, maybe that's the societal issue of confidence as it comes to being thin. Looks like they look like they're happier. I don't know if they are. But.
Right. I mean, maybe there's one day that we're all just on Ozempic from birth.
Well, that could be a whole other thing. It could be like a vaccine.
Right.
It's like, everyone looks better. I think there was an article about that I read somewhere. It was like, is Ozempic going to change the way that people think about thinness?
Well, no, there was there was an article about it. And then there was an interview about just that your mind is so much more it's like the idea of just go diet, right. To some people, that's just saying just go off of heroin, that's not the chemical.
I think to most people.
To me, yeah. I had 5 slices of pizza last night after dinner.
If you said you didn't say it was after dinner.
It was a late night snack. Yeah.
It was an early dinner. No judgment. I don't care.
No, here's the thing.
We just had it in the office. We had Melt Shop.
What's Melt Shop?
It's like grilled cheeses, right? Is that the special?
Great.
There's nothing more less nutritious and more delicious than a grilled cheese, I think.
I totally agree.
So good.
Yeah. I can convince myself a pizza's healthy. I could be tomatoes, bread, the oils.
The cheese is protein.
Yeah, it's got everything from the pyramid. Yeah. I don't know. I was having
Would you go on Ozempic?
I think I would. My mom's been talking about it a lot. But again, there's the allowable opinion, this hush-hush nature around it. Mm-hmm. I made this joke. I basically said, I don't want to be...
Stigmatized, yeah.
It's stigmatized. And again, us as a people who are sensitive about their weight, I'm including myself, we have the best hearing. We just hear everything. And I put on Instagram, it was I just don't want to be told drink more water by someone who's lost a bunch of weight on Ozempic.
Right.
But then you go, I understand why they would be like, I don't want to fucking tell people, I don't want to get in. Again, the red flag, the date thing. I do understand there's some people that are like, I'm on a date with someone, I don't know, that you find out and you're like, well, what's our lifestyle together? I guess it's the same.
I guess if you're less hungry, maybe it's different.
Is that what it is? You're less hungry?
I think so. It kind of makes you just
less
Maddie? Focused on food.
Yeah.
But says yes.
She gave a big,
Dr. Maddie.
Right, Dr. Maddie. She gave a big nod. Yeah. Yeah. I was like, she seems more sure than anybody.
But yeah, I guess it could, that's how we related it to dating. I guess it's a stigmatized thing. It depends.
Well, I related to dating because it's if I were to go on that, I'm changing who I am as a person. Okay. It would take that level thing to change me. Because I'm at 38, I'm you're going to eat 5 slices of pizza. This is who you are, Jared.
Right. But also, who cares? Right?
I care.
It's not like it's stopping you from meeting women.
Is it?
I don't think so.
I don't know. You
seem to have no issue going on dates.
I don't, but I'm am I going on dates in the way aspirationally? Am I meeting people out? I'm not meeting people out in public. I'm hunched over this phone.
You think Ozempic would help that?
No, I don't know. I'm a mess. I'm sorry. No. We went off topic. I'm sorry. I'm trying to relate it.
Somehow I think they
coexist. What are we talking about today?
Okay.
Let's jump right in.
Let's do it. I only did 20-minute intro today.
It was
I'm
good.
Impressed with us. Okay.
If you're in Europe, come to the shows.
Yes. If you're in Europe, go to Jared's shows. He's all over Europe. What are the cities? London.
Dublin, Belfast, London, Copenhagen, Amsterdam, Berlin, Oslo.
Love it. And
Come.
if you are in Chicago, New York, DC, Philadelphia, Boston, come out to see us live.
Yes.
We have a lot of fun.
The live shows are great.
Yes. All right, I'll read it.
I like this question
Same.
because I'm going to give people answers.
I had a feeling you were going to have a strong
Yeah.
opinion on this one.
Yeah,
All
let's
right.
do it.
I have a question. I have been on plenty of decent dates with guys that are respectful, complimentary, and overall gentlemen. The conversation is usually good and we'll chat after the date, but when I say chat, I mean text. Texting is not my primary form of communication, and I'm finding that many guys only like to text. I genuinely never have a connection with guys that I only text, and I find myself responding to a bunch of guys just to be nice, stuck in the same old conversations about how my day is going. Then I get bored and overwhelmed with texting multiple guys, so eventually I stop. I do communicate with the guys by saying I want to continue to get to know you, but it's hard to do that through text message. I want to jump on a phone call later. This works, but then it's usually me initiating the phone conversation. I would like a solid way to communicate that I'm not a teenager, I'm not going to text you all day, so pick up the phone every now and then and call and make plans to meet. If this doesn't happen, I'm out. I want to say that in a nice way. Okay.
Okay.
Not this extremely patronizing way that you just said it to us.
Listen, you little bitch.
Not 5 years old.
Right.
I've been told I'm the problem, maybe, since I continue to communicate with these guys, and I shouldn't if I don't like to text, but I don't want to ghost them because overall I've been communicating with some decent guys.
It's funny, this person DM'd me this question.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Did you say, write it in?
And I said, send it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, my DMs are not the place to like test out your
No.
your questions. Send it in.
There's a box, an email box specifically for that.
Right, uup@betches.com. But I did say send it in. And I said, you know, it is interesting because I did give a little feedback.
And so this is why you keep getting the message.
Right. I shouldn't even say that. It is interesting. I'm like, these guys aren't just texting you because they don't want to call, you know, like they're ignoring why this is going on and making it a moral.
They are, or she is? I think
is.
she
The emailer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not the people that she's texting.
No, the people that are texting. There's nothing more honest than a guy trying to fuck you. There's nothing in the world.
Well, here's the thing that I think she's not acknowledging. Most people are not calling each other before first dates.
Right.
Most people are not. She is in the minority. She's not. She's the one who wants something different than most people want.
Right. And she's claiming she's putting as equals texting and call.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's like, well, I like to call. And it's like, you're not even acknowledging why these guys keep texting you. They're trying to fuck you at their convenience. So they don't want to go out with you. They keep texting. They don't want to make a plan because texting is a tool.
So you're saying because they're not calling and they're just texting, it means that that's what they're looking for?
Because they're not doing anything with the texting.
Okay, because so you're kind of holding on. We're holding on to different parts. Where I'm saying the part where she's like, I want a phone call,
right,
is the issue, and you're saying the part, which rightfully so. You're saying that like by the part where she's like, they keep talking to me all day without asking me to do anything,
right?
Which I think are two separate issues.
Yeah, I think she's added right. The issue of I want a phone call is like a morality play,
right?
And
that's the part that's annoying.
Yeah, it's annoying,
yeah.
and she's concentrating on that to let everyone know I'm a phone call person. I'm not a text person. When these guys don't even give a fuck what you are.
Right. They don't know you yet.
They don't know you yet. They're trying to get blown. And I know this sounds icky, but you have to look at it in an icky way. Mm-hmm. They're not making a plan because they're going, let me hold on to them as long as possible until I have the time and the presence and the want to get blown. And I know that sounds bad. I understand this, but like there's a lot of people that get so caught up in the morality, I like calls, I like this, that they're ignoring. Like, and she even I wrote her back. I go, these guys are just texting you over and over to like meet up with you when they want to meet up with you.
Right.
And honestly, they know you're attracted to them. Maybe you're meeting on an app, so the app is you going thumbs up. I think you're attractive. Whether you believe that or not, that's how men receive it. If you match on an app, that is you saying I would fuck you. So, but that's how men receive an app match.
Okay.
So you have to think like the guy in this point. He thinks, okay, I got woman who would fuck me. I need to hold on to that fish on the line
in case I ever want to eat it.
Right.
Okay.
And I think this whole thing of like, you have to be willing to like, she's like, I don't want to ghost these guys. They're decent guys. There's a lot of decent guys.
It's not ghosting if it's on an app.
Right.
If you haven't met yet.
If you haven't met yet, or if and then she wrote back, she was like, I go, these guys are keeping in touch right now. She goes, but some of them I've been on dates with. I'm like, yeah, guys who've been on dates with you are still holding on to you. The guys will go on one date and then keep texting you forever because they've already shown the effort.
So what do you think is the thing she should write to make it clear that she's not interested in just texting?
You have to be willing to walk away from the casino table.
Okay.
You got to walk away from a hand that looks good, but it ain't going to win. You might have this great hand at the table, but you got to be able to go, I got to fold on this one. And I think what she needs to do is put them in position to make a plan. The phone call doesn't matter. The phone call doesn't get you anywhere because a guy will go, oh, yeah, fine, I'll fucking call you. What's up?
But we all want the
right.
dream.
No phone call has gotten you closer to a boyfriend or a girlfriend. Mm-hmm. It might be enhance things, but you still got to get together. You still got to make a plan. You still got to leave the house.
Okay.
So I think what she needs to do is like, hey, today is so busy, but listen, I'd love to do drinks again. Make a plan and I'm down. You have to make it so easy to make a plan that the only answer is I don't want to make a plan with you.
Okay.
Because I've been putting,
so give me an example of a text that makes it so easy to make a plan that anything else is not.
The one right now. So, hey, let's say they went out. They had great drinks. Drinks were fun. The next day, how's your day going? Day has been great. Super busy. How's your rest of your week looking? Now you're in rest of the week territory.
Okay.
Oh, the week is so busy. I got this, I got that. Well, I'm free Saturday. Let me know if you want to make a plan. Now you're in plan town.
Okay.
Always to plan. Like when I used to cold call.
What if the rebuttal is, oh, I can't Saturday. I'm visiting my grandma.
Totally. Love my grandma too. I go visit her all the time. Let me know when next week works for you. I'd love to do drinks Tuesday, Wednesday is pretty good on my end. Okay. This was a cold call technique. I used to cold call. I do 100 dials a day. Hey, I'm calling from blankety blank. I do the financial planning for the people in your building. Would love to get together next week. I'm in the building on Tuesday between 10 and 5. Oh, I'm not here on Tuesday. What's that?
Assume close.
Assume close.
Yes.
So, I'm not here on Tuesday. Okay, the next time I'm actually there. Now you're not. They didn't even say no yet.
Right.
But you're immediately.
Nor did they say yes.
They didn't say yes. So you go, well, the next time I'm there is on Monday the 25th. Do you have any time then from like 3 to 5? And then they go, well, you can tell when someone has their calendar open.
I'll let you know when it gets a little closer. I'm not sure yet.
Sounds good. Let me know when.
Okay.
You have my number.
Now they're done.
Sounds
right.
good. Now
you
they're
have
done.
My number. All right. And if they text you again after that.
It's the plan time.
Right.
Or if it's how's your day?
Well, it's how's your
weekend.
You're
not answering.
Okay.
You tried.
Yeah.
And
I like the not answering if they never set a date.
Right.
And the conversation keeps going. I agree. Don't answer.
And listen, this is hard to do because sometimes you're like, I like texting back about nothing too. Good for you.
Right.
But when you're ready to pull on the lever,
that's what you need to do.
That's what you need to do.
And don't let it go too long.
No, but there's people out there like, listen, I'm guilty of this too. Just text. Just text.
Has someone pulled this on you with the I'm free this week and this day and this day?
It happens on the apps all the time, and I always go, good for them. Got me.
Do you just not answer?
Yeah.
Works every time.
Well, I'm saying you have to corner.
But now they know that you're never going to ask them out.
Right. But these guys, when they keep texting and texting, it's an acknowledgement that a clock is ticking. They know I got to keep in touch with them to keep the woman who wants to fuck me. Mm-hmm. So the whole idea of like, how's your day? How's your day is, hitting the clock and resetting it for these guys.
Right.
That's them going, okay, I got to check in with the girl because she might move on to someone, that I got to make sure she knows I'm still here.
Right. But we don't care if you're still here, if you're not going to ask us out.
Right.
I agree.
If you're just here hitting the clock, that's not really what you're looking for. Because I'm a great texter. I'll get back to people.
That's true.
So I'm giving you the version of good texter.
Right. Which doesn't always equate to interested in seeing you.
Absolutely. That's exactly the point.
Right. So this is a good way to weed them out. I like it.
Right.
Should we do some awkward sex?
Let's do some sex. Let's do it. UUP at Betches.com. UUP at Betches.com. These keep getting better and better.
These are great.
It was spring break years ago. I love how we just jump right in.
'Twas spring break.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. 'Twas spring break years ago. Panama City Beach.
Classic.
I.e. classy. I love that. I went back to the hotel with a guy in my friend group. Unsure if any other friends would be back in the guy's room soon, we decided to fool around in the bathroom, but he was a tall glass of water and the tub was too small. So we moved to my room, still empty. We were fooling around in one of the beds and at some point heard my friends get back to the room. That didn't kill the mood and we ended up having sex. Both being responsible adults, we used a condom. Good for you.
Good for you. Keep it safe.
That's right. Keep it safe, stupid. After the deed was done, he dumped the condom. We went to sleep, and he went back to his room at some point. A few hours later, I woke up, said hi to everyone, and one of the girls wouldn't talk to me. I knew we probably shouldn't have had sex in the room with everyone, but alcohol and super hot tall guy in spring break, I do know.
I do know.
Yeah. Anyways, I apologized for the midnight romp, at which point she shouted at me, "You threw your condom on my head."
Because it would wake you up.
What the fuck was that?
Did I just get shot?
Just can you imagine you're just
Do you think he
sleeping?
folded it? He tied a knot?
I don't
first?
think so. I mean, I'm just imagining this poor girl sleeping.
The ultimate spring break story.
The fuck was that? Yeah. Condom doink. Right over her fucking forehead. Big old load.
Oh my God. No.
All right. Anyways, I apologize for the midnight romp, at which point she shouted at me, "You threw your condom." I'm just imagining this fight is so funny to me. You threw your condom at my
waiting
head.
to the moment to explode.
Right.
Because in the moment, she's probably, when she gets hit, she realizes what's happening. She's like, I can't start this now. So
Right.
she's just she's been stewing about it probably all
All night.
night. Yeah. Wondering if you can get STDs from a semen in your eye.
Right. She's got pink eye. What happened to your eye? You threw your condom at me.
Oh my God.
I died. Turns out when we finished, he didn't just drop the used condom on the nightstand or the floor by the bed like I thought. He threw it across the room and it landed on my sleeping friend's face. I mean,
Why would he
doing?
throw it?
I mean, the idea that flicks it.
Like the
Kobe.
the paper, right? Like the wastebasket
Right.
shot. Yeah.
I've never done that with a the idea that he's taking it off.
Just throwing it
Like a
across.
grenade.
Right, yeah. Very absurd. Oh my God.
It's so spring breaky.
It is extremely spring breaky.
Yeah. So I thought he threw it across the room and landed on my sleeping friend's face.
Oh my God.
It took a lot of apologizing and drinks to get back to my friend's good graces, but I have no regrets. That was one of my favorite nights in college, smiley face. And yes, she and I stayed friends after. Nice. Oh, what a happy ending.
Yeah. I mean, I could get over that, I think.
You got to get over
Yeah,
that.
it's
It's
not like
spring
a-
break.
And it's not her.
What do you mean?
Like she threw the condom on her head.
It's the idiot
It's the
guy.
Yeah.
It's not like it happened at a bachelorette. I don't know, even a bachelorette party, I would understand it. It didn't happen like, they didn't come into your room and throw a condom at you like a water balloon.
The two of them then run away.
Right. Got her.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. It's a little upsetting to hear someone having sex in the same room as you, and even more upsetting to have their condom thrown in your face. But all's well that ends well.
A condom is just jarring in general. Like, you ever see one like in the street?
Yes.
And you're
gross. Like in the water.
Just a condom, a used condom is one of the biggest, turnoffs.
Yeah.
As far as garbage is concerned.
Yeah, I mean, I can't think it gets much worse.
Yeah, right.
Really.
They signed it irresponsibly responsible or tall people problems. I don't know the tall issue.
I guess she's saying because they had to leave the bathroom because he was too tall. I think that's...
Us shorties aren't exactly fucking in bathrooms all over the fucking place. Like, this isn't like we're like, ooh, wish I wasn't tall. I wouldn't be able to fucking this...
Oh my God.
Fucking in this bidet.
I loved Maddie. She had a rude rubber awakening.
Love that one.
Complete surprise.
Condom Kathy.
Like that. Fever pitch.
Fever pitch.
Oh my God. What?
Hitting the condom.
Oh my God.
Yeah, what the fuck just hit me? Is that a condom? Like, that's the realization. It's dark. What's that on my face? Ah!
I wonder how many people were in this room.
Red flag or deal breaker? Guy you're with, you get done having sex, and he just takes the condom and throws it across the room like a fucking baseball.
Deal breaker. I
Done.
don't respect my... Is it his place or mine?
It's his place. He's got a corner.
He's better.
Pile of condoms in the corner.
Oh, I mean, pile of condoms in the corner, no.
Okay, red flag and deal breaker. You get done with sex, and the waste paper basket's across the room. He takes off the condom, and he thinks it's funny to, like, try and get it in.
That's funny. But then if he misses, he needs to go pick it up.
He's got to go get it.
Yeah.
If he doesn't go get it.
He can't just, like, go back. Yeah, I'd be like, go get it. Okay.
Right.
But impressive if he makes the shot.
If a woman took out her IUD and then...
I don't think you could take out her IUD. Your maneuvering.
The new...
Yes.
Kobe.
I mean, that's a sort you could play like Frisbee.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I would like that.
Or it's like you could a ring, what's the game? The ring toss.
Right. Yes, like at the carnival.
Yeah, but that actually will stop. You need her to keep that in because it's birth control. So you probably want to make sure that it stays in. Put that back.
What if I took off the condom, I gave it to her, and she's like, I like to play this fun game where I throw the condom in the garbage.
What do you think?
I'd be like, wow, we're really getting to know each other.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with it.
What if she put it in her nightstand?
I take off the condom, she goes, give it to me.
Yeah.
Like a mom taking the kid's gum.
Yeah, and then she has a few in her nightstand.
That's concerning. That's one of those. I'm like, what's that for?
And then she says, this is, so in the future, if I want to have kids on my own.
Out. It's a horror movie.
I have a whole
she has them labeled.
To choose from. Yeah.
She's got this is my version. I didn't want to go into the sperm bank.
That stuff is so expensive. Give me that. And then she just puts it. What is your last breed? Sorting it under F.
What's your date of birth? Just so I have it for my records.
No, I mean that'd be a funny movie idea.
It is a funny idea. Let's do another one.
I'm a 24-year-old single dude with a question that makes me feel like a douche. I love
Bring it here, sir.
You've come to the right place.
The king douche shall give you an answer.
You're not the king douche.
I understand. I understand the douchedom ways.
Yes, you're inside the mind.
I'm inside the mind.
The douche.
Yes.
I've noticed a trend on the apps that makes me uncomfortable / jaded towards my matches. The thinly veiled resume questions. I understand girls need to make sure I'm not a serial killer, but I can feel the difference between basic get-to-know-you questions and the silently judging you questions. For one, I was asked to show a girl what was in my fridge before we met.
Okay.
That depends how that was asked. I've also heard of TikToks where girls go through guys' bathrooms to judge whatever stuff he has. I feel like someone wrote in about that, and it was the guy's grandma. Remember? Maybe that was her one. She was like, show it. She like took a video to send to her friends.
Oh, I remember this. And she was making fun of it. Yeah.
And I've been subjected to variations of that during the first visit to my place with a few girls I dated. A few girls you dated are taking pictures of your bathrooms.
I think this is a very TikTok-y 24-year-old thing they're asking. I like this question.
Okay. Is that that's a trend now, taking videos of the bathroom of the guy you hook up with?
I'm looking towards Maddie on this one to understand what's going on.
I don't know if it's like a widespread issue that like every girl you're going on a date with is like looking through your bathroom, but I have seen videos like this.
From your friends?
Not from my friends, but
She's like, my friends are classy.
on the internet, on TikTok.
These are TikToks that are taking off, basically being like, look at the guy's place I'm at. Look what's in his fridge, and we're going to make fun of this guy.
Yeah, usually it's like girls looking through the bathroom, like kind of whispering because they're like the guy, I guess, is out there, and they're like, oh, okay, like Aesop soap, rich, blah, 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 you know, like kind of judging based on whatever is there.
Okay. I understand this as far as like a trend is concerned.
Right.
Like where you like, and I understand the joke. The joke is, let's see how these men live and then judge of whether I would still sleep with them or not, or if I'm with a good guy, bad guy, you know, based on these very frivolous things.
I would imagine it'd make someone hesitant to go on a date with you. Just generally speaking.
Afterwards. If I knew
if they saw someone's bathroom on their TikTok.
Right. I mean, I've matched with women where I've seen that they have TikToks that I go, oh, okay, well, I'm out.
Right.
So, but that's everyone's,
fair.
that's fair, you know?
So whenever these things happen, I can't help but feel like I'm a cat at the pet show getting its teeth poked and butthole prodded. Is this just how Gen Z dates? Should I proudly display my 2-in-1 shampoo? When I see these questions in games being played, I feel a bit dehumanized. If I call girls out on being a bit too intense, I feel like a self-conscious jerk. Or is there a way to get some of these questions out of the way on your profile without looking arrogant? For example, I have my own place, a steady job, drive a Prius, my prescriptions are in my medicine cabinet, etc. I understand girls want to know as much as possible to not waste time, but I'd still like to have boundaries. Sincerely, please, no phones in the bathroom. So my question is kind of like you. Is he going out with these TikTok girls? Like, is that who is that? Because if you're going out with that kind of person, then that's what you're going to get.
Based on his email, I agree. And based on his email, he says that I've also, for one, I was asked to show a girl what was in my fridge before we met. So I can understand where you match with someone because you're attracted to them on a dating app. And then they're like, you get into your banter, and then the banter goes towards, let me see what's in your fridge.
It's funny because like a woman would probably write in the other, be like, and we're talking, we're having a good conversation, and then he's like, send me a picture of what you're wearing right now.
Right.
And a woman would say like, that would make me feel objectified.
Right.
Or what does he call it? Like, yeah, like I'm a cat in the pet show, or dehumanized. Yeah. Like, and that happens to women all the time.
Absolutely.
I've messaged with many guys where before we've gone out, they've been like, send me pics, and I'll be like, okay, now I know. No.
Well, that's the whole point. That's the advice is like, it's okay to be turned off.
Yeah.
You know, like, and it's harder. I think it's hard for this guy because he's like, no, but she's hot and she thinks I'm hot. So he's like, but come on, just stop asking about my fridge. Let's just go out. You think I'm hot? And it's like, you have to be okay being turned. He gets into the thing that he sounds bad about is what everyone sounds bad about. When you start making these grand, like,
women these days, Gen Z these days.
Right. When you start generalizing, I agree this is things that certain women do of a certain generation. The joke gets you to virality, gets you viral on TikTok.
Right. Or you're not that mature and you're like having a little fun. You're like, you're fucking with the people that you're talking to.
Right.
Which is a sign a little bit of immaturity.
And not for you, dude.
Right.
That's the thing. And you have to start saying not for me, not say these are the ills of the world. I mean,
make it a societal issue. Right?
The minute you make it societal, the minute you're fucked and you sound like a piece of shit.
Well,
so
that's
like
what he's saying, yeah.
Right. And I'll say this. I put up these videos of like, so in the special that we're putting out, I have a bit about the ick.
Yes.
And the ick is such an interesting topic. And I present it as my friend told me she got the ick. And at first I didn't know what it was. And she says, the ick is when a guy does one thing on a date, you never want to fuck him ever. Which is a very simplified way of getting into my bit about, and then I go to the crowd and I've been putting these videos out on my Instagram. And I say to the crowd, anytime I'm at a live show, anyone have some icks? And the best icks are the ones that work for some, don't work for others. Because every now and again, someone's like, I don't like long nails. And I'm like, that's not an ick. That's just a turn off.
For you. Yeah.
Like, but I'm just saying, like, we could all agree, like, if a man had 4-inch nails,
right,
95% of women are gonna be turned off.
Yeah.
It's not an ick.
Okay.
Like the ick to me, and I know I'm like now mansplaining the ick, but it's the ick to me is like that there could be a woman in the room holding the leg of a man who's doing the thing that icks out another woman in the room.
Okay.
So like he chases, a ping pong ball.
Okay.
Someone could be married to a guy, they go, look at how stupid and cute he looks.
Right.
That someone else goes, I can't fuck that guy ever.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So in this scenario, he has to be okay with women who deal in these, I need to see your fridge before we go on a date. Not for me.
Right. Instead of trying to work around that issue and attempt to get them to ask other questions, those people are those people. Just don't go out with them.
Right. And
it's okay to be turned off by that.
The most angry men in my comments of these videos of the ick are these and the most incel-y douchey guys. There's a lot of guys responding because they've gotten numbers. So there's a lot of guys responding like, oh, these are women being misogynist women for saying I don't want to date a guy with a string backpack. And it's like, no, and I've responded to a couple being like, every ick is valid, right? Mm-hmm. Just like your opinion
it's for you, right?
On these women is valid.
Yeah. But someone else might not care. Someone
was going, look at my fridge.
Yeah.
And he says, he goes, I don't want to look sensitive. You are sensitive.
That's okay.
That's okay. Yeah. You're sensitive. You're
turned
24.
Off.
You're turned off. You're 24. You haven't made it in your career yet. Men are kind of judged on their value of what they
Even though
have.
he has a Prius.
It's got a Prius. Good for you. But you saying I have a Prius, it ain't going to look so hot.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that he wrote that in the email says a lot about his
own
self-esteem.
This is a lesson in owning your faults and insecurities.
And your insecurities.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Everyone has insecurities. It's not bad to have insecurities.
No, not at all. It's how they play out.
Yes. It's bad to project them into other people.
Right. These Gen Z bitches.
Right. It's okay. You're 24. No one likes you.
And right. Listen, that's how it goes. And you're in middle school. You're the top of the totem pole. You go to high school. You're a loser freshman.
Exactly.
You go to college. You go from senior in high school, loser freshman in college. You go from senior in college, loser
of the real world.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you're Pedro Pascal. One
day you turn around.
George Clooney. One day you're Leo D.
Yeah. With us, it's like the opposite. What a life.
Listen.
One day you're washed up senior girl. The next you're freshman.
Well, you're right.
Fresh meat.
Next
day you're dating. Next day you're on a yacht with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Right. You go from senior washed up to Leo D's chick.
There you go.
Right. Well, this is the thing. And then the people who buy into these things too much are the ones that probably like fuck themselves the most.
Yeah.
Like the woman who's like, we're the grandmas at senior year of college. You're like, why don't you just have fucking fun?
Right.
You go, you're doing this to you.
Well, that's an insecurity in itself, right? That's
this guy's doing this.
Yeah,
he's
doing it for men.
Right. He's stopping himself from just being him and having fun and being 24 because he's sitting there being like, how about these women looking at our fridge?
The generation. So you ready to play some games?
Let's do it.
Let's get into Faux Pas or Nah, presented by Faux Pas Can Cocktails. Every single Faux Pas can is based on a tried and true cocktail. Vodka soda, marg, tequila soda, and mule. You can't go wrong. And it goes without saying on this show that we're into keeping it real, which is why there's only real vodka or real Blanco tequila and no artificial flavors or gluten in these drinks. Now let's keep it real with some Faux Pas or Nah. I love these.
Love these. They're very real.
Yes.
I love when they're real. And we have to go over the game again. Faux pas is just a faux pas.
Yes.
And you were right.
Not a big deal.
Not a big deal.
Everyone has them. Nah, we're out.
Nah, bro. Okay. Let's do it. He made a show of us using his diplomatic tax-exempt card when paying for the date. I went on a date with someone who's an international diplomat. It turns out diplomats are tax-exempt, even for non-work related purchases. So faux pas or nah? Is it a big deal or tacky that he was trying to flex his diplomat status to save like $5? Is this a faux pas or not? I wonder what it was for.
Yeah, and it depends how he really like put it, how he was talking about it. She doesn't really say that. Like he said like, oh, like I never pay taxes. Like look at my card, and then he like shows the card and puts it down or whatever. I think if he's just like putting down the card is something that he probably just does with everything he pays for, which I would imagine if I had that card, I would just automatically do.
Right. Well, I guess I'll present some scenarios.
Yeah.
You're at dinner. He's like, I got it. You reach for your wallet. He goes, no, I got it. I actually get tax free no matter what.
That's just a faux pas. I think it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of don't like that as an excuse for paying. Like, just say you want to pay for the date.
Fine.
But it's a faux pas. If he was
maybe
like,
if it was like a third date, I'd be like, and I was like really insisting on paying, and then he said that, I'd be like, okay, that
right.
makes sense.
I'm okay. It's just a faux pas.
Yeah.
If he's like, we're getting coffee, and I'm like, no, put your card away. I get tax free on everything.
Also faux pas.
Also faux pas.
No big deal.
If it's like, hey, you're not gonna believe it. Since I'm a diplomat, I get tax free on everything.
He talks about it every time.
Every time, and just like makes it a big part of his personality.
Yeah, that
now
would be a no. That would be like
leaning
a
into nah.
Right. Yeah.
There's a way
if
to
it's
present
casual.
it. Right.
So you know what I mean? It's like if someone had an Amex Black card, and they were just like they just put it down. That's fine.
And then you go black card. I've never even seen one.
Yeah.
And that might be a faux pas or not from his end. You're talking about it. Like,
yeah, well, that's the whole thing, yeah.
Right, but
if he was like, "Oh, I got the black card,"
right?
So clearly, I'm paying.
Right.
I'd be like, "Well, clearly, I guess go for it."
Yeah, and if he was like, "You should see what I get with this black card," like if it was a part of the conversation,
braggy,
right?
Yeah.
If it's braggy,
yeah. If it's braggy, then it's a nah. Otherwise, just a faux pas. All right,
let's do another.
He hid his fake front tooth. I was regularly hooking up with this guy that I really liked for about 2 to 3 months. After a night out, we came back wasted, and he suddenly felt sick and ran to the bathroom to vomit. I stand by the door asking if there is anything I can do to help, and with his head hung over the toilet, he says, "I have something to tell you." My heart sinks, and he lifts his head to reveal a missing front tooth. Ooh.
Of all the things, like if he was like, "I'm married with kids," like
this is not as bad as that.
No.
Yeah. He shows me the retainer, explaining he got it knocked out during a hockey game when he was a teen and didn't want to show me. But since he's throwing up, he couldn't hide it. I was shocked because I'd never felt it when kissing him. It blended so well with his other teeth, and I had never encountered such a sight. After this reveal, he became more comfortable with taking out his tooth when we would go out to eat, but it gave me an ick.
That's very funny.
I agree with her that it's like he's a little too comfy.
Interesting.
Like I'm a proponent of a little mystery in a relationship, even if you know it's not a mystery.
Even with a tooth, like to me, this isn't like, I guess like
when they go out to eat, it's like he's like toothless every time they go out to eat.
Right.
I don't know how long they're dating. In the beginning, I would I'm kind of like, okay, you have gas, that's fine, but like, you could still try to go to the bathroom. As an example, like
it's funny to me that like the one tooth missing is like kind of funny and cute. If it was like a half of their mouth that they pulled out, I'd be like, that's gross and jarring.
No judgment.
But good for all of you.
Yeah.
Something about it, I'm surprised that would go into ick territory.
For me.
I listen, everyone's
I think it's
valid
cute again when he's throwing up that he's like, oh, I have something to show you, and then he's got like a little tooth issue. I kind of agree, would be like cute, but I would still want him to try to hide it.
Right. Like some effort.
Yeah. I think it just shows they're like not too comfortable.
Right.
But it's just a faux pas for me. But I think I can understand why she'd be like I don't love the tooth thing.
It's so interesting. I would have nothing to it.
You wouldn't mind? She takes it out every time you go to dinner?
I'd be like, this is what she does. It's
puts
part
it
of who she is.
On the napkin?
I mean, on the napkin. It wouldn't gross me out for some reason. A tooth in the front.
I don't think it'd be grossing me out. It was just more like, I think, jarring to see someone with a missing front tooth.
I guess it's something about how it happened when he was 11 years old. Like,
what if she did it at like a wedding with all your, it's cocktail hour. Just takes it out. That's what I'm saying. Like that would be like my like what I would go to,
Right.
my thought process.
Toothless Sarah.
So I'm saying I'd be like, it's okay to be a little ashamed. I don't know. Unless it was like really bothering them. Like if they were
Right.
like in a lot of pain when they wore it, I'd be like, of course, take it off.
Of
But
course. I don't know. There's something about like you're dating someone, like then it's like that's just because it's from a kid.
Maybe if they're
That's why I'm like not as
if he takes it out at the apartment
hey, we're gonna do Netflix and
opposed to-
chill. Let me take out my tooth.
as opposed to at a restaurant. I don't know. Like I just
Right.
feel like just a little effort, you know.
Yeah. I'm okay with it. I'm totally in the faux pas.
I'm still in the faux pas with it, but
Okay.
I don't think I would like it would be like I'm out. But
Right.
I could see where I'd be like,
It's-
maybe put your tooth back in when my friends are coming to the table.
The
say hi.
lying doesn't bother me at all.
Oh no, not at all. That's cute.
Right, yeah.
I think it's cute. Again, I'm for the
For the-
the
you want
cover
more
up.
lying.
I want more cover up. Yes.
Let's do one more.
Okay, you want to read it?
On the first date, he shares a traumatic story and waits until the fourth date to admit it was all made up. On our first date, he told me he has only 9 toes. Then explained that a raccoon chewed off his left pinky toe on a camping trip, and with a very long and detailed story. On our fourth date, he told me he actually has all 10 toes and that he made up the whole thing. Obviously, I never asked to see his feet. No, I don't know anything about raccoons, so I didn't question the story. But I did end things because I was starting to suspect he was a compulsive liar. That's
Ouch.
a nah. I'm done.
I don't think that's funny.
Not at all. And the idea that, like, we spent extended time in La La Land.
And you're the one, you're in on it, but I'm not.
Right. It's not even a funny joke. It's not even
Yeah.
entertaining.
Like entertaining for him to
Right.
try to lie.
I mean, that is a sign of a compulsive liar.
Yeah.
Like, there's no bit.
It feels like immature as well. I
Right.
would be definitely out.
I'm out. It's
Wow.
like easy. Like the idea that like even when people do this at shows sometimes, they'll be like I have a video on my Instagram, like there's a girl sitting in the front with her friend and I go, how do you guys know each other? They're like, we're sisters. And I'm like, oh, okay, nice. Who's younger, who's older? Like, not. And you're like,
Okay.
all right,
Right.
we don't know
funny
you.
for you,
Yeah, the
yeah.
whole crowd doesn't know you.
Right.
Nobody knows you.
A not joke is the worst, is the lowest form.
Lowest
joke.
form of
Joke.
joke.
It's a not.
Not.
Right.
And it's like,
Psych.
yeah, got me. We all don't know you.
Right.
We all don't
I
know
don't
you.
care either way.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
You're a device
right.
for me to talk about what the fuck I'm talking
I'm
about.
using you.
Right.
Okay.
You're giving me a breath of fresh air before I go back to my bits. Yeah.
Exactly.
The biggest faux pas you can make, not having faux pas stocked and ready to go for your next girls' night or date night in. I love faux pas. I'm sitting here with the Bartlett Pear Vodka Mule.
And I have the grapefruit and orange tequila soda.
They're such interesting flavors, delicious. I'm a big fan of the grapefruit. I just love it. It brings me back to like the days of having a Fresca.
It's so good.
It's
It's like
so
a little spiked Fresca in that kind of way.
I love it so much.
Just the right kick.
It's just the right kick. It's great. The weather's turning right now. It's faux pas season, baby.
Indeed.
Visit www.fauxpascocktails.com to find your favorite faux pas near you. That's FAUXPAS, and follow @DrinkFauxPas on Insta so you don't miss out on any of the tequila. We did it.
We did it again.
We solved dating.
We solved dating. Congrats to us. We'll be back on Sunday with the Sunday Special.
Boom.
The U Up podcast is produced by Sean Kilby, Maddie Paul, and Jorge Morales Pico. Editing by Jorge Morales Pico. Social media by Maddie Paul. Be sure to follow @u.up.podcast on Instagram and send us your emails to uup@betches.com.